Let me today take you through the story of James. The 21-year-old New Yorker, like many of us, lives a normal life but dreams of becoming a writer. His thoughts are a bit old school. He doesn't believe in digital universe. He's working on a book, and after contacting many publishers, one finally showed interest. James was elated upon hearing this. The young boy believes his destiny is about to change. Many days passed, and not even a single copy of the book was sold. After 3 months, the first copy of the Black Book was finally sold. But this did not please the young writer. The next morning, he gets up, turns on the radio, and hears the most disastrous news of his life. The news was 25-year-old Jessica died in her New York apartment last night. It is yet to be confirmed if it was a murder or a suicide. Cops say she had a black book on chest and assume she might have been reading before death. This news shocked James, as Jessica was the only one who purchased his book. Innocent James in some way felt connected to her. He was waiting for her to write a review for his book. After 2 days of this horrific incident, James gets a call. Hello? Hello? Is this Mr. James? Yes, it's me. Sir, I'm calling from the Brooklyn bookstore. Okay, tell me. Sir, I called to say that in the last 2 days we sold around 10 copies of your book. Oh, thank you. Thanks a lot. I'm delighted to hear this. I request you to keep me notified. Sure, sir. James was on cloud 9. He thought success would knock his door slowly and steadily. He decided to treat himself and baked a pizza. While enjoying the homemade pizza, he turned on the radio. And there was the breaking news once again. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. What looked like a good afternoon turned gloomy as 10 people died in New York City under mysterious circumstances. All the 10 who died a while ago had one thing in common, which is the Black Book. Few days ago, Jessica, 25-year-old girl, had also died under mysterious circumstances. What is the story behind this book? Will the cops hunt for the author? News up next. US President James turns off the radio. He's taken aback. He's shocked and has no clue about the next step, which is his future. He's so scared that he even forgot to have the pizza. He's sitting on the ground and staring at the door, thinking that cops can enter any time. It is 8 p.m. and James is still at the same spot, staring at the door. He is tensed and tensed. The clock now hits 9. There's someone knocking on the door. Mr. James? Mr. James? Mr. James? There are cops outside. They get no response. They try for another time. Mr. James? Mr. James? The two cops decide to break in. When they enter the house, they find nothing. They don't find Mr. James. They search every corner of the house but found no clue or Mr. James. There was a neighbor, but his house was locked, and it seemed like there was no one for years staying there. They come back to the house, and one of the cops spots a black book. He holds the book in his hand, while the other cop turns on the radio. And there's breaking news again. Remember the author of the black book, Mr. James? About 10 people died in a span of 1 week and all had the black book. Well, there's another twist to this story. Our sources in the city are telling us that Mr. James died when he was an 8-year-old kid. Cops are flabbergasted upon hearing this. They are looking at each other. They have no clue what's going on. The house had nothing. No phone, no TV. Just some furniture and a radio. The cop who was holding the black book opens it, and the first page read, "I was 8 when I died.